What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video. Yeah, I'm your boy Mood616, and thank you once again for stopping in already, guys. So this time it's going to be a contest entry from my boy Jason Whitney. He has reached 100 subscribers. I know this contest, he started this contest before he actually hit 100 subs, and I think as of now, which is this is actually the last day to enter. But I'm going to get it in there, and I think at this point he's got about 117 subs, so fucking congratulations, Jason. You deserve a lot more. You got a great-ass channel. I love watching your videos. Got a great taste in horror and exploitation, and you like a little bit of everything, but I know that you're kind of leaning towards, you know, the Italian genre and stuff, and doing a lot more Italian stuff on the channel, which is fantastic, hence the contest. So the contest, you wanted us to talk about a favorite Italian film. It could have been any type of genre. I actually pondered doing, like, surprising everybody and doing like a spaghetti western or, you know, some type of other type of Italian film, but I didn't. I had to go with this one. This is a film from 1980. Originally came out in 1980 in Italy. I think it made it to America in 83, I want to say, or something like that. This is directed by the classic director Umberto Lenzi, and that is Nightmare City. Umberto Lenzi, most famous for probably doing Cannibal Ferox. I know Eaten Alive is another one that I really like by him. He's just done so many movies. Ghost House. Welcome to Spring Break is a really fun slasher film that he did. Umberto Lenzi went under so many different aliases too. That's the funny thing about him, man. Like, he fucking had like 30 different aliases. It's so funny. But yeah, this one has always been a great love of mine. I've always found this movie to be so intriguing, actually, the way it was done. I actually have two different copies of this one. I prefer the Anchor Bay cover art, which is actually the shirt that I'm wearing, but the shirt is under the original title, City of the Walking Dead. I'm glad that they used Nightmare City. I think City of the Walking Dead is kind of a misleading title for the movie. Nightmare City kind of feels a lot more, it just feels like a better title for the film. So yeah, so Nightmare City. Getting into the plot of this one. This is about a reporter named Dean. I think his name is Dean Miller. Basically, in the beginning of the film, he shows up at this airport. He's there to interview this scientist that's coming off this like military plane or whatever. But something kind of goes wrong. Something doesn't seem right about this airplane. Anyways, it ends up landing at the airport. They open up the doors, and out comes like these raging zombies, like on the attack, and they start fucking massacring everybody. I guess what had happened was they were exposed to some kind of nuclear contamination or something like that, which turned them into like these raging zombie vampire kind of deal. And also like a ton of other people, so which created this fucking mass hysteria in the city, and, you know, thousands of people were getting massacred and stuff. So now it's basically about Dean and his wife. They're trying to escape the city, you know, to get to, you know, a safe place. And it's more about like the military trying to, you know, really kind of figure out what's going on and kind of put a stop to this and stuff. So it's basically the entire premise to the movie. Now my thoughts on this one. I've always been very, very intrigued by the way Umberto Lenzi did this movie. Now the zombies in this movie are so different, because when he did this movie in 1980, I think this might have been one of the very first films where the zombies were very, you know, almost fast and very kind of human-like. These zombies attack like madmen humans. You know, they use weapons, they use guns, they stab, they fucking bite. And they're very fast, they run. They're not like the slow-moving George Romero's zombies, so it's kind of terrifying in that aspect. I'm not like overly the hugest fan of like newer films with faster moving zombies, but this one's different because they seem like they're just kind of, you know, crazy, like fucked in the head. The zombies look absolutely fucking hilarious in this movie. They kind of look like burn victims to a point. Some of them just look like they're rotting, like almost like they have gangrene all over their face and shit, which is so fucking awesome. I love the way the zombies look in this film, but, you know, with that said about the zombies, they're so fucking... This movie's very violent because You know, in a typical zombie film, they're very slow moving. They get a hold of you, they bite you, rip your guts out and stuff. These ones are they're full on attacking. They're stabbing you, they're biting you, they're shooting you. You know, they're trying to break through doors with axes, and they're just doing crazy shit. So it's kind of terrifying. The military figures out in the film that the only way to drop these zombie vampires is what they kind of refer to them in the film, is that you have to shoot them in the head. So, you know, kind of like the typical zombie. There's some fucking pretty nasty kills in this movie too, actually. Some pretty good gore, some good head explosions from shots. There's a few scenes in this movie you can tell are completely borrowed from other films. Like, there's an overhead shot where they're in a helicopter and you see all these zombies kind of running in this open field. I mean, that's basically taken straight from Dawn of the Dead. There's an eye gouging scene in this film which is very much taken from Zombie and you know, fucking yeah. So Lucio Fulci, obviously. There's actually a couple scenes in this film that remind me of Fulci films and stuff. So, but you know, I mean, that's very typical Italian cinema to, you know, kind of borrow from other films and stuff. The movie's driven by a really fucking great soundtrack. It's just very exciting. It's kind of like medium pace, but it really does build nice in the scenes. The tension's actually quite well done in this. You know, as for the leads in the movie, the Dean and his wife. Now, I once read that I think Franco Nero was actually considered for the lead part in this film, which would have been fucking fantastic. But they went with this lead. I'm not even sure exactly what his name is. I think his name is Hugo Skiltz. I think he was a Mexican. I guess the producers wanted to put a Mexican in the lead to appeal to their crowd and stuff. Which I don't really understand that, this being like an Italian film. I don't know why they wouldn't use an Italian. It makes no sense, but I think that would have been super cool if they used Franco Nero in this. But like I said, the leads, they're not overly the greatest. I don't find Dean to be the best hero in the film, if that makes any sense. I don't know. There's just something about him that kind of does bug me. Maybe it's because he just seems like he's kind of like a pussy fucking reporter at first and stuff. I don't know. There's just something about him that kind of bugs me, but maybe some of the decisions and shit too. But you know, overall, this movie it's such a fucking blast, man. I'm just so glad that they used the title Nightmare City instead of City of the Walking Dead, which brings me back to my point. The zombies being really fast-moving, kind of maniac men and shit like that, and women. But they're so fast. Like, the City of the Walking Dead makes no sense. Nightmare City is a lot better. It does actually kind of make sense when, you know, by the end of the film in here. And honestly, I'm not even 100% sure why they put, like, I guess kind of the second ending into this film. I don't want to ruin it for anybody that's watching this that hasn't seen the film, but I don't know why they went that extra step and put that, you know, that kind of second ending into the film. It really doesn't matter. You don't need to put that in there. If you've seen this film, you know exactly probably what I'm talking about. There's a really, really funny scene at the end. It just looks absolutely super fucking funny. I laughed so hard at this, but you know, overall, it's a really, really fun movie. It's very, like I said, intriguing because of the way the zombies are. I don't even remember another movie that was even like this, even to date, where the zombies were so aggressive with their weapon use and just anything that they get their hands on that they're going to take you out with and stuff. And the zombies overall, like I said, you know, some of them look like they're burnt and gangreneish and stuff, but some of the zombies in the film don't really even have that look at all. They're very kind of normal looking. I think that was probably just a budget thing, basically. There is quite a bit of special effects, and I wish there had been more guts and stuff. That's the one thing about this movie that surprised me also, is that there's no scenes of, like, you know, especially these older Italian films where, you know, zombies would basically tear apart a body and you see all the guts coming out. You always seen those in those type of films. There isn't really much of those scenes. It's more of people getting killed by zombies with weapons and then them getting their blood drank and stuff. It's kind of a weird one, but I don't really know what else to say about this one. I mean, if you've never checked out Nightmare City, definitely check it out. It's a fucking blast. I just had so much fun with this one. Every time I watch it, I love Umberto Lenzi, man. He's a great director. So, but yeah, Jason, hope you enjoyed the review of Nightmare City. I don't remember if you said that you've seen this one. I mean, you probably have seen this movie, but if you haven't, definitely check it out. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a good solid 7.5 out of 10. I don't know. It's kind of it's a tough one to rate because it's really fun, but you know, it's not a great film by any means. But you know how it is, you know. But anyways, buddy, man, congratulations on the 100 subs. Like I said, I think you're up to close to about 120 right now, so that's fucking awesome. I just want to wish everybody else luck that entered the contest too. I know Jason had a really awesome turnout. A lot of really cool YouTubers entered the contest, and that's awesome to see. And I'm glad that I actually finally got around to doing this contest entry because I've been trying to get it done forever. And of course, I had some circumstances in the last few days that I couldn't do it. So, but anyways, buddy, I hope that works for you. I hope I didn't forget anything. I think that's it for the contest and stuff. So anyways, buddy, once again, congratulations. I'm sure you're going to get a ton more subs. I'm actually quite surprised that you don't have a lot more, to be quite frank, but it is what it is. It'll come with time, I guess, man. But anyways, dudes, peace out.